PorkRoll.Vs Taylor Ham podcast.
All about Taylor.
Today we're down to 2. Just got Carly and Marissa on the microphone today.
Yeah, that's it.
So. Today we are discussing something that is getting, it can be a hot topic depending on who you talk to. Today is tattoos.
Tats, as some people call them.
So, I'm someone who I have 3. Rissa has none, is not allowed to get any. Her parents would probably, Sons of Anarchy it and, burn it off your body.
Very possible.
Yeah, if it ever happened. Your dad's Colombian, so I can totally see, he's got a dark side.
He's got that, cartel side.
Yeah, so I can totally see that happening.
He actually really doesn't. He's
Mr. Rogers. He's a tan Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
He has sweaters and all.
He does. He has a red sweater. That is his Mr. Rogers sweater.
So, probably going to be a little bit of a shorter episode because there's not too much to say, I don't feel like. But I just thought it's still an interesting thing. They're getting so much more popular these days.
And it's changed, especially just over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
How it's becoming so much more mainstream.
A description of mine. I have 3. They're smaller ones. I've got, my first one was on my foot. I don't even know how long ago it was, but I had always wanted one. My older sister had a bunch of, she's got a couple of all small things. It's not, no one has a sleeve or anything. But she had a bunch of little ones all over. So we've and it was easy when we wanted one because she kind of broke us in, our parents in, because now my mom
thanks a lot, Sammy and Kenny. Kenny's been brought up in every episode
so far. But I think more than Sammy.
No, yeah.
So,
but they didn't get anything, so my parents were no tattoos.
Yeah, so my mom was definitely broken in. She just got Erin, and I think Erin's definitely got one where she would probably removed. So being that I don't have any that I want removed, so that's okay. I don't have any regretful ones.
Well, she got them pretty young.
Yeah, she got all of hers probably before 25.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that. It's an addiction. You get that first one, and all of a sudden then you want a bunch of them. So my first one I got, I think probably about 3-4 years ago now. Got on my foot, it was absolutely excruciating, the pain. And it's just writing. It's just a lyric. But it hurt so bad. It took probably about 10 minutes, so quick. But I have a pretty high pain tolerance.
So you think.
Hey, Sarah, if you're listening, thanks for interrupting the podcast. But I probably should have put on silent. My bad. Okay, so I have a pretty high pain tolerance, so I was shocked at how bad it hurt. It feels like a scalpel is just cutting through your foot.
I want one so bad, but I gotta be an adult and be responsible for myself before I get one, or else my parents will be pretty mad. Yeah. So but I'm terrified of the pain because I don't have a high pain threshold.
Yeah, I thought I did. I would think you kind of would because, as an athlete, you get hurt all the time. You're just well, shake it off, keep going. Rub some dirt in it.
I'm constantly hurt.
Yeah. So I thought it was going to be okay. I was really shocked at how bad it hurt. And then, I don't know, maybe a year and a half, 2 years later, I had always known, so as a marine biologist, even before I got the lyric on my foot, I had always known that I wanted marine biology tattoos.
She's a bird.
Yeah, so I always thought,
nerd.
Marine biology was, I could probably get, a sleeve of marine biology stuff. But that's all I ever wanted.
That'd be pretty interesting. That'd be a really cool tattoo.
That's all I ever wanted was marine bio tattoos. So, and when I was in high school, when we talked about last week, I learned that I really liked marine biology in high school. So at 17, all of a sudden I loved this whole new thing. And now it's taking over my life. But the one animal that my teacher in high school, it's called a cuttlefish. Really? 10 a.m. riff, cracking one open. Might as well. So my teacher introduced us to this cuttlefish, and we went to the aquarium, and we saw one, and I just thought that was her favorite animal, so she taught us a lot about them, and I thought they were the coolest animals of all time. That animal really is the thing that kind of branched me into the rest now of my entire life. So I really always wanted either an octopus or a cuttlefish as a tattoo, and I ended up getting the lyric one first, but then all along I always knew I wanted this cuttlefish. But there's all these cool octopus tattoos, but no one really knows what a cuttlefish even is. And so it's a tiny little thing. It's no bigger than a football. And that's a big one if it's a football. And they kind of look like a squid, sort of, but they're fatter. and they got like little flappy wings on their sides. They're really cute.
They look fake. Like when you look, like they look like it looks like a cartoon that someone drew. Like a bad octopus.
Yeah, they're like a squid octopus hybrid, I guess. But their tentacles are like in the front of their face like a squid.
They're a cephalopod, right?
Yep, cephalopod, which means head foot.
See, I'm
learning today. So, but they're really, really smart. Like if you actually, which no one's gonna Google about
we'll just post all the tattoos on the Instagram.
Yeah, but it's like they're really, really smart, and I just thought they were the coolest animals. So I finally got one of my friends, my dear friend Maeve. She finally found like a cool picture of a cuttlefish for me, and it looked like a watercolor painting almost. And I know watercolor tattoos are very in right now. But it was so pretty, and I was like, that's it, that's the one. Because all drawings, they just don't do them justice. So she found that.
Well, don't they change color a lot, too? Like, they have, like, the most range of colors.
Yeah, they have the best camouflage of any animal, like chameleons. No.
Actually, in the new Jurassic Park, the dinosaur that they, like, made had
cuttlefish genes in it.
Yeah, so they could change colors and everything.
Yeah, so if you remember, you watch it back. That's where cuttlefish gets a shout out in Jurassic World. Mm-hmm. But so she found that painting, took it to the took me a while, because when I think of a new tattoo, and it is an addiction, once you get that first one, you're like, all of a sudden in your brain, it just can't shut up. Like all of a sudden you're looking at everything and like, that would be cool. But I like to think of one and then sit on it for a while, because you are putting something on you for the rest of your life. So I wanted to sit on it for a long time. And so it was probably a good year. I had this picture that I knew that I wanted to get, and I finally went and made the appointment and got it done. And I got it done on the inside of my arm. Of my bicep, which they say is another excruciating. I don't know what I keep getting them done in horrible places. I guess the ribs are next, but the and it wasn't bad. The outline, it's anything with when they're like with writing or with an outline that hurts worse.
Because isn't it? I don't know if this is actually true, but when they do like an outline, isn't it like a smaller needle?
Yeah.
Where coloring it into something, and like it's like they have like the line of needles.
Yeah.
So like I guess like the pressure is like dispersed.
Yeah, that may be it. That may be why. Because we're not tattoo artists, so we don't not really know. I mean, like I watch Ink Masters.
I've never really even seen a tattoo done. I'm just assuming.
But it is true, because the outline of the cuttlefish was so painful. But it's the one thing is like they do a line and then they come up. So right when you're at the point where you're like you want to scream because it hurts, and then he pulls up and you're like, okay, I can breathe, and then he goes back. And the cuttlefish took probably like an hour. It's not that big. I would say, I don't know, what's it, like 2 inches long, probably.
2 by 2.
Yeah, it's not, I like smaller ones. But, and then the shading he got down, like right to the colors and the painting, and really, really
isn't,
cool.
Like, the eye really cool?
Yeah, the eye is like a zigzag, like a squiggle. And which the painting didn't even have the squiggle in it when I gave it to him. And when I gave him the picture and I said, I want this done, and he had never heard of a cuttlefish before, so he Googled them, and he actually was looking at all these pictures, and he knew to put the squiggle in the eye, and I didn't even notice it, because you're nervous when you go in, and I didn't even notice that he added the squiggle, and all of a sudden I'm looking at when it's done, and I'm like, oh wait, you got that in the eye is really cool, like that's a really prominent part of a cuttlefish, and he got it right. And just because, like, he looked it up, and that's a big thing about making sure he's a good artist. Like, I could have definitely handed that to somebody else, and they would have and then I probably would have noticed afterwards, like, oh, they didn't get the eye right. And so I was really, really thrilled with that. And then the other one I just got, I don't even know if it's a month old now. It may be a month old. But I got a little portrait of my sweet baby angel, Fredo, my dog. And this one was...
Not a child.
No children. But this one, it was kind of a quick one. I don't know. All of a sudden, I was just like, I really want a Fredo tattoo. And because he is everything in the entire world. And Rissa's called me very extra with my dogs. And I don't care. If I gotta be extra about something, then make it about my baby.
With dogs. I mean, I'm a dog groomer, but she is...
No, I will literally, like, Nana and I were talking about the hurricane, and I was like, how could people leave their dogs behind? And she was like, yeah, I just think that's so sad. But she goes, but, if it's hard to say when you're not in that position. I'm like, I don't care. He's the first thing. I don't care if my legs are broken. He's the first thing I'm carrying out. Yeah. Oh, yeah, probably. Like, no shame. But she'd probably pick him over me, too. So it's respect there. Like, I understand it. And I would totally be like, yes, save Fredo. So I got a little portrait of him. This one, though, I thought of it. I didn't give myself like that year that I normally give my other tattoos. I just knew like I just needed to have that, and I wanted it on my forearm, which I was a little nervous because my other two I can hide. Like I forget I even have a foot tattoo because I never see it, and my arm one I can hide. With the forearm, I was a little nervous because I was like, that's visible. And then there is this whole stigma about ones on girls and, you know, that they're not as cute if a girl has, like, a more visible tattoo. So I was a little nervous about it. And, but then I'm like, you know what? The point of the tattoo is he makes me so happy. I want to look down and see that adorable face and bring me happiness. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put it there. I don't care. And so I had to do research on this one because it is a portrait tattoo. So you can't just go to any shop and get a portrait done. And I wanted it to look like him. So I did my research. And luckily, there was a shop that's like an award-winning shop that's right down the street from my house. And in Jersey. If you ever go, it's Crown and Anchor Tattoo. So good. Ivan, I will give him all the props.
He's Russian, right? He's not here anymore.
Yeah, he's only comes in for the summer. But he was so good. And a big thing now is like go on an artist Instagram page. Look up what they do.
Especially they travel a lot.
Yeah, and if you're paying them to put something on you for the rest of your life, check out their Instagram page. And you know, and so I had to make an appointment like 4 months in advance just to get this guy. But it was totally worth it. I knew it was going to be expensive. I didn't care. I wanted it done right. And I was a little nervous going into it because I'm like, it may look like a yellow lab, but will it look like Fredo?
No, it definitely looks like
and like halfway through, he let me take like a quick like 5-10 minute break. And I looked at it. I'm like, oh my God, it looks just like him. And so I was just thrilled. I mean, but then I thought, oh, inner forearm, that can't hurt that much. You got a lot of like muscle and skin and stuff there. And nope, that one hurt. But this one was a lot. He did a lot of, it's just black and gray. I only have one colored one is the cuttlefish. But that one had to be color. Cuttlefish are known for their color. I don't love, personally for me, I don't love color tattoos. I prefer the black and gray. But cuttlefish had to be color. But this one's just black and gray. But he did a lot of just like, I don't know, like pointillism, where it's just like he's just doing like a bunch of dots, and I like you said like the single needle. Oh, it hurt really bad, and it took like 2.5 hours to get done. So I think after like 2.5 hours, your skin is just destroyed, like just being scratched. It feels like you're just being scratched by like an evil cat for 2.5 hours, but it hurt a lot. So those are my 3. I plan on getting more. We'll go over some, because the ones that I plan on getting next are probably like fandom tattoos and stuff. We'll get into that. Rissa, if you were to have one, what would you get?
I have like a list of like solid 3 that like I already want. Like I want a Lumineers quote because I love Lumineers. And it's like a really cool, like empowering quote. It's, and when she stood tall, she'll make a fool of you all. I just feel like
inspirational.
Yeah, I feel like that's just like, fuck you. Like, come at me, bro. But it's from a really cool song by the Lumineers, Slow Down. You should go listen to it.
The live version is so good. I prefer the live version, actually.
A lot of their songs I prefer the live versions of.
Yeah.
But, I'd want that. I'd want a fandom tattoo. A Harry Potter fandom tattoo.
Yeah.
It's Sirius Black's Wand Ruins. They're really cool. And then they mean, almost human. Like, that's what they're
really
supposed
cool.
to mean.
And
yeah.
I love things that only people who knew what that meant would, like, they'd look at it and be like, I know what that. A lot of people probably just look at it and be like, oh, it's just a bunch of symbols, because it's lines and triangles and stuff like that in a straight line. I think a lot of people would look at it and be like, what is that? But
if you don't know, you don't need to know.
Yeah, like Harry Potter nerds, which are, I think, a majority of the population, they would totally know what that was.
But they're just so cool.
Yeah.
And then I really want, like, an old school, like, microphone.
Yeah.
Because I think those look so cool, and I freaking love music. Like, there's not a day where I'm not listening to music for, like, a solid, like, 2-3 hours.
And it's not even just listening, it's just, like, what it means.
Yeah.
It just is, you know, I definitely don't listen to music just kind of, like, casually, like, oh, it's just kind of there. Like, if you really do, like, listen to some words, but that's a big thing. So, do you think a tattoo needs to have, like, this deep meaning? Because I know, like, the only thing that Nana's okay with us getting her, you know, loved grandchildren marking up their bodies for the rest of their lives is that all of ours do have a meaning. So I think she's okay with that, as long as, but like she, like the older generation, I think they're coming around to them, but they say like, oh no, you can only have that if it like, really, really means something to you. And I don't think that's necessarily true. I don't think you need to have this. If you just like it, then screw it. Then put it on you. You know, it's your body. You do it.
Especially, like, I think, like, a tattoo, like, it really signifies, like, where, like, even if it doesn't mean anything, it, like, signifies, like, where you are at that time and place in your life. And if that's what's marking your body, then I don't think that's something to regret, because that's who you were at that point.
Yeah, and I mean, if you regret it, then you regret it, then that's on you.
Yeah.
But I mean,
but then you get, like, a cool cover up, because there's, like, I love looking up, like, cover ups on, like,
they're fascinating to watch be done, the way that they have to line everything up, and it's really fascinating. But that's it. I know I was the other day. So Rissa and I are going down to Harry Potter World soon, and we're like ready to explode with happiness because we're so excited because we're both Harry Potter nerds. But like, I want
Sirius Black's death is the only death that I've ever done.
in real life and fictional life. But I would like a Harry Potter tattoo. Nothing as, like I said, I'm not getting a sleeve or anything. But it just meant, I mean, well, here I go. I'm saying it meant a lot to me, and that's why I want it done. Mm-hmm. But I don't think, like, it needs to really mean something. I mean, but then, like, my mom got all judgy because I was talking about, like, when we first get in Harry Potter World, we want to go straight to Ollivander's, which is where they sell the wands, because we need our wands, like, right away. And want an official Harry Potter World wand.
What kind of wizard shows up to Hogwarts without a wand?
Yeah. Obviously, no one. Like, how lame. So, and then my mom, she's motioning like she's shooting herself in the head. And I got really angry because I was like, how can you
belittle something?
Yes, because you don't know what that means to somebody. And I think it's a problem with a lot of people who don't understand, is that, like, who are you to say that, oh, that's stupid? Because I can very well say, and I love football. I cannot wait tomorrow. Today's Saturday. I cannot wait for tomorrow for football because we had to miss last week. So tomorrow's like my official, like, just sit on the couch and watch football all day. But I can very well say there's 40-year-old men who are painting their fat stomachs in, like, Giants blue. Mm-hmm. Like, you're a 40-year-old man rooting on, like, a 25-year-old kid. Yeah. Like, I can very well say, doesn't that sound a little strange? Mm-hmm. Where I'm a fan of books. Like, I think I kind of would lean towards the book. So, but it's like there's some things that they're like, oh no, but that's okay. The 40-year-old man who's cheering on the kid, that's okay. But you know, books, you can't love books that much. I'm like, but who are you to say, to judge? Because,
everyone just leave everyone alone.
I just don't get it. I just think nothing makes me more angry. Let people love what they love. If it's not hurting you, then let people love whatever they want to love. Because I have a very obsessive personality. I either really, like, love it so hard that I'm ready to put it on my body for the rest of my life, or I hate things. Shout out Alyssa. But I tell me. But I really hate things. But when there's a lot of things that I love to like beyond in, where then I get in trouble because I like love things too much and then I keep going on and on about them. But I don't like them when people shoot stuff down where it's like something I like is like, downplayed or something. I'm like, I could turn it on very well and turn everything around, but I won't say something that you love is stupid. So I could think we can all agree that tattoos are definitely becoming more mainstream. I think, I thought I had a percentage here somewhere. Let me find it. Yeah, 36% of Americans 18 to 25 have tattoos now. So I think it's...
I think it has a lot to do with celebrities, too.
Yeah, actually, and I looked up, like, why is that? Why all of a sudden is there this boom in tattoos? And one of the things that they really, not blamed, but said that it was really when Miami Ink came out, which was this reality show that I remember watching when I was, a kid. Yeah. And it came out, and it just, like, no one, there's all these people who judge tattoos, but they had never actually seen one being done before, never saw the process, or the people who wanted them for certain reasons, and never had been even seen the inside of a tattoo shop. I think a lot of people just thought that they looked like garages.
How much, like an actual art it is.
Yeah, and I think all of a sudden, and this article that I was reading,
and like super personal art.
I think it was on the Huffington Post.
My toes are being licked currently by well,
it's Fredo.
Oh, Fredo.
A lot of, I think, people all of a sudden saw it, and it's not just like these disgusting biker gang guys working out of a garage. Like, it was actually like artistic. Yeah. And it's like these normal people, and then you hear these people's stories, and I think it only helped boom, the tattoo industry that much more. And then that just led to then social media, and now all of a sudden you've got tattoo artists who are celebrities themselves, like
Yeah.
Bang Bang is a celebrity in himself, but he's tattooed the biggest people in the whole world.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, when I wanted my Fredo tattoo, he's got a guy in his shop that does like specializes in tiny pet portraits. So I'm like, oh, well, if I want it done, then I'm willing to pay a lot of money for it, thinking it'd be like a couple $100. Yeah. So I get an email back immediately, actually pretty quick from him, which I was surprised because he's Bang Bang.
Mm-hmm.
And I got an email back, and it was $1,200 per hour. Per hour. So my tattoo took 2.5 hours. So I'm looking at close to a $3,000 tattoo. I'm like, and they were like, "Is this something you're interested in?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good."
Maybe like once I win like the lottery.
Yeah. I'll be like Rihanna and go tattooed. Rihanna, Cara, they all get tattooed by Bang Bang. But social media I think is big, has really helped tattoo artists because you can go on and look at anything.
Whole portfolio online.
Yeah.
Which I think is super cool because like that's where you can do your research too instead of because like
it's a game changer.
Artists, like there's probably a few that have like full out like websites, but like you get to see like live, like basically if they just do a tattoo you can see it right there. Yeah, it's
straight, pure, free advertising for them.
Yeah.
But it's really helped me, like especially when I wanted my Fredo tattoo. I was able to look around. I was looking at best tattoo shops in Jersey, and the list would come up, and then I'd go right on Instagram and check out each artist, like a shop, but then each artist at the shop, because some people, there's a lot of different styles of tattoos. And some people, are best in like old traditional American tattoos, and some people more do the new like pop art. But I needed a portrait guy, and luckily I found him. But they were definitely scrutinized in the past, and they've become normal. And I do think social media has really helped. And then all of a sudden now all these celebrities are getting them, and then you look at them and.
Because just like regular, like it's like teachers and moms.
Yeah, and I think we don't like to admit that celebrities influence us, but. Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that they do.
But then there's like this whole history behind tattoos, like, which is like super.
Yeah.
Like it's so cool because like different parts of the world have always been tattooing.
Yeah, that's what. So I wanted to highlight the Polynesian culture. I think mine's before yours. I think mine's older. Definitely. But I think they were kind of like the fathers of tattooing. They've had it for so long. They've been doing it for thousands and thousands of years. And I think a lot of people know. I think celebrities influencing us, but The Rock has a lot of traditional tattoos on him, and I think that was kind of like the first time people really saw them. But then
even that like KJ
Appa. Yeah, from Riverdale. He's got one because he's from New Zealand.
Yeah, and his dad like a chief or something.
Yeah, his dad is like which you say chief and you're like, oh, he's like the dad from Pocahontas. Yeah. No, he's just like a regular guy. But I think they still have tribes and stuff. It's just that they're not what you picture in your head. But so I looked up Polynesian culture tattoos, and just to give you a little history lesson, just in case you're wondering what's going on. So they used to express your identity and your personality, which I think is like really cool because thousands and thousands of years ago they were doing that, which is what we're doing now too. So they were like way before their time, and it also symbolized like a hierarchy in your tribe. If you reach sexual maturity, your genealogy, like your family history. So it was like a really, Moana. Which actually I was watching Moana and I was like, wow, like even the grandmother has a tattoo. Which like it's such a big thing.
Do you think like that will influence like the generation that like?
I wonder because like, they don't even mention it. Like it's not even. It's just like everybody's got tattoos. Yeah, and it's just like I think that's huge to show kids. Which if you don't want your kid to have a tattoo, then that's you. Yeah. But I think it's really cool to show kids, like, their
culture.
Yeah, it's just their culture. I thought that was such a big thing of Disney to put that in there. But, so European sailors came into the Polynesian area, and they really, really liked them. So then they took this one guy, this one tattoo artist, and they brought him back to Europe, and then they spread everywhere. And it was the sailors really liked them, which I think then leads into, for a long time, the only people who really had tattoos were sailors. Up until, like, recently, just within the past couple decades, sailors were the only ones that really had them. But, So Tonga and Samoa really elevated the game of tattooing. They represented profound social and cultural significance. They've been using the same techniques, which I don't know if you've seen tattoos being done in like Hawaii and stuff, but they've been using these for over 2,000 years, and they literally use, it's like a stick with needles on the end and like a mallet, and they just keep tapping. They said it's excruciating pain. But a tattoo artist, it's a really big thing. It's like really respected if you are a tattoo artist, and it's usually passed on from father to son and throughout generations. But it's really risky to get them done because infection is a huge problem, and then the pain is really bad. But if you do get them done, then it's like, oh, you're a man, because you did risk all of that, the pain and infection, and you still did it. And then after you got it done, they would throw you this big party, because tattoos could take anywhere from a couple of hours to like months to complete. So it was excruciating pain. So then they would throw you this big party afterwards, because you went through it. And men and women have them. There's like no judgment between. They both get them. They think that it preserves one's health, sense of balance, and fertility. That's a big part of why they do them. Placement is huge. Each part of the body has a spiritual meaning. So I saw like Polynesian warriors would get them from like their waist all the way down their legs, and that meant they were like connected to the earth. And it was just like, and I don't know if you've seen a traditional Polynesian tattoo, but it's very detailed, and it would cover everything, like their butt and everything, and go all the way down to their legs. But their head meant something. If you see head tattoos, arms and everything, they said women lean more towards, they would get tattoos on the left, I think, and men would get them more on the right of the body. But so placement was incredibly important, and it was almost wiped out because of Christianity, because they said in the 18th century Old Testament, I don't know, I ain't religious, but in some old book, they said that it was, they said in the book that it was like tattoos were bad and don't have them. But anyway, so Christianity almost wiped it out, because then the Christians came in and started, occupying Polynesian areas, and they almost wiped out. And it's kind of sad, because a lot of the old designs and stuff were lost, because this is hundreds of years go by, and a lot of the old designs were lost. But there were some rebels who made sure that at least the art of doing it kept going, even though they lost the designs, because it's so old. There's no photographs of it or anything, and they had a couple of journals would have like a drawing of it, but that was it. They didn't have anything. So today, because most of those old patterns are lost, people are allowed to make their own choice on how their tattoos connect them to the community, and they're very open. Like, you can decide, like, if you want that and you somehow relate it to why it's meaningful to you, then they're totally open with that. Whereas before, it was like you didn't really get to decide what you got. It was like, no, this is what our whole tribe is getting, so you have to get this. And now they're much more open to it. They said as long as you just get one, then that's all that really matters to them. It's more of the process of getting it. It's this huge symbolic thing. So that was the first time I've ever, like, I knew of them, but it was the first time I really, like, learned about them. I'm like, wow, that's really interesting. So Rissa's
I've got prison tats.
Oh, so interesting.
Not me personally. I did some research into prison tats. And I think they're really interesting because, like, each thing means something, like, pretty dark.
Yeah. Really. Like gang tattoos.
Yeah. Like, I have some examples. So, like, the number 1488, a lot of times it is...
I've actually seen that. I've definitely heard something about this.
Yeah, they're, like, a lot of people, like, white supremacy, like, Nazis have them. Because the 14 represents 14 words that are quoted by Nazi leader David Lane. And it's, we must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children. So, like, of course, Nazis.
Yeah.
I think everyone's trying to take it away from the white people, but that's not true. And so that's what 14 means. And the 88 represents the 8th letter in the alphabet twice. So, Hail Hitler.
Yeah.
So, like, real nice people have these tattoos.
Yeah. So there's, like, some, just fine quality humans.
Yeah. That's sarcasm, by the way, guys. I know people don't catch up on it.
Not we are not sympathizers.
We are like the opposite of Nazi sympathizers.
Mm-hmm.
But so tattoos are pretty big in like the Aryan Brotherhood too. Like AB, a lot of times they just have like AB because like they're obviously not intelligent enough to think of something better than just AB for Aryan Brotherhood. They do like the Nazi symbol, swastika, or the SS bolts.
I've seen those.
Yeah.
Not person, like I haven't seen in person.
They're pretty popular, but in prison, the Brotherhood makes up 1% of the inmate population, but are responsible for 20% of murders inside prison.
Wow.
Isn't that pretty interesting?
Yeah.
It's such a small group.
Yeah, but they're
just bad people.
Yeah.
Like just even like prison standards are bad people. And I thought these other ones were really interesting. So like playing cards all mean something different. If you have like just a full stack, it could mean like you have you like to gamble,
mm-hmm.
or in like Russian prisons, a spade means a thief. A diamond means like a stool pigeon or an informant, like a rat.
Mm-hmm.
And they're usually like applied by force.
I was gonna say, well, who would want a diamond on them if it meant you were a rat? But...
Yeah. A club is just like criminal in general, and then hearts mean you're looking for love in prison. Also, maybe applied by force.
Yeah.
But like they're just like pretty awful. I think the Russian, like, if you're gonna be in jail, you don't want to be in a Russian jail.
No, that sounds as bad as it can get.
That's the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
But but for other prison tattoos, like a clock with no hands, it means like you're doing a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
Like time to stop because you've stuck. The 5-point crown is really big for the Latin Kings gang.
Okay. Your family.
I guess so. If I think we'd have like a lot more money if we were part of
that.
Yeah,
that's true.
So we're pretty poor. I think like one of the most popular ones, especially like in like culture, is like the teardrop.
Oh yeah.
So
does it really mean that you killed someone?
Well, it could either mean like a filled-in teardrop means you killed someone,
mm-hmm.
Or it could mean a lengthy prison sentence. If you have like just like the outline of a teardrop, it could mean either you tried to murder someone,
mm-hmm.
or a friend in prison was murdered. So those are the ones that are like pretty, especially like in today's like rap culture.
Yeah.
And that's really big. The cobweb, which you see on a lot of people.
Yeah, on the elbow.
Yeah.
You see that a lot.
But it means like a lengthy prison sentence, like because like the whole thing is like their elbows on the table for so long.
Oh, so clever.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah, but if you ever see like a colored prison tattoo, like that's not really a prison tattoo.
Yeah, because what materials do they really have?
But another one, a lot of them are just like dots that they do because like what could they really have? Like maybe like a needle and like some pen ink.
Yeah, I think
that's basically what they're made of.
Yeah, because we know
from experience. But another one that's really popular is 3 dots in like a triangle,
mm-hmm.
and it means mi vida loco or my crazy life, because like that's pretty big in the gang.
Yeah.
And another dot one it's 5 dots, and it's like 4 dots on the outside represent walls, and then the dot on the inside represents the prisoner.
Mm-hmm.
So like they're stuck in this prison themselves. And but yeah, there's like I was like shocked to like see like the meanings behind some of these tattoos. They're just really interesting. And like there's ones like you see a lot. Like you see the teardrop a lot, and like the cobweb I've seen like her and my friend growing up, her dad had cobweb tattoo.
Was he in jail?
I don't think so.
I think some people may get that one and they think like it just looks cool.
Yeah, it's like
but no, there's some meaning behind that.
I think you should do some research. But it's just like because tattoos are a huge part of prison culture, and like gang culture and everything.
That's
like,
all really interesting.
Yeah, if you're a part of a gang, you have to. I'm pretty sure you have to have some kind of.
Yeah, I know my dad was in the Navy, and I think they wanted him to get a tattoo because it's huge in sailor culture.
Yeah.
And they wanted him to get a tattoo, and he wouldn't. He had chickened out, and so then they made him do something embarrassing, like he had to walk around all day with something on him. But because it's just in a lot of cultures, like it's just expected of you to get them, but it's not looked at like, oh, such a bad thing. I got to get this tattoo. They're looked at because, no, this is like a thing of respect.
Be proud
yeah.
of, like, if you're a sailor, be proud of it and, like, own it on your body.
Yeah. They're very interesting. So I want to talk about, like, the tips to get a good tattoo, because I've seen some bad ones. And I think a lot of people, they're like, because tattoos are expensive. And I think a lot of people try and, like cut the corners. Yeah, and they try and, try and get it for, like, a bargain. And I'm going to tell you right now, you get what you pay for. So, James actually his first tattoo, he has one, but he wanted one, and he said he was going to get it done in his friend's garage. And I remember I was the only one home with him, and he was like, yeah, so don't tell anybody, but I'm going to go get a tattoo. And I'm like, what do I do? Because I knew he couldn't go do that. And so I called my mom and my dad.
You tattoo. You rat.
Yeah. So I called my mom and my dad, like, right away, and I was like, he's going to go get a tattoo in a friend's garage. And so they called him, and they were like, you better not. And so he came home. He was furious with me, but I think I did a good thing, because he wanted a scorpion, because he's a Scorpio. And I think that's something he'd probably regret right now, if he did actually go get it done. He was like 18, maybe.
Yeah. I don't think he was 18.
Yeah, I think
it was like a long time ago.
He was young. So, so a tip. So do not get a tattoo in a friend's garage. I do not.
I feel like
it's like
not
PSA. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Save up your money. If you really do want a tattoo, think about it. Save up your money. They are expensive. So, and then go get it done from a professional, because you do have something that's on your body for the rest of your life. You want to be proud of that when you're 80 years old, and you want to be like this badass little old lady, old man. Get it done right, because then you're going to feel so much better about it when you're old. Check out your artists. Go on the gram. Look at all their stuff. You want to make sure that they fit what you're looking for. Make sure it's safe. I know there's some gross tattoo shops. I don't know how they even run, because I think most of it's pretty regulated. You got a needle going in your skin, like a lot, many, many times. So I think for the most part they're pretty safe. I don't think that's something you really have to worry about. But again, do not get a tattoo in a friend's garage, and then expect to get what you pay for. I mean, I knew that my Fredo one was going to be a lot of money, and it was a good amount of chunk of change, but I knew,
don't expect to go on Friday the 13th to get the free tattoo, and it would be like this massive piece of art.
And then be open to the artist's ideas. They're an artist for a reason. Like, don't go in there closed-minded, unless it's like something that's very basic, like, a lyric or something. There's not much you can do with that. It's writing. But be open if you are getting something. The ones that I've gone into, I've given them the drawing that I wanted or the photo, and I've just been like, okay, I'm totally open to whatever you want, because they will. It's not like, okay, I'm going to do this and then put it on your body right now. It's a discussion. Yeah. It goes back and forth, and with, like, my Fredo tattoo, his head is tilted in it, which makes it so cute. But I just wanted his head really and on me, and you can't tell if it's just his head, and you can't tell it's tilted. So the guy knew to put a diamond shape around it, so then you can tell that his head. And I never would have known that. Yeah. So, like, really be open to the artist's ideas. That's their profession. They know what they're doing. I mean, you would hope they know what they're doing.
And it's in a garage, they probably do.
Yeah. And you may have instant regret. Like, as soon as you get it done, you may have instant regret, which is totally normal, I think. When I got my foot one done, it was kind of spur of the moment. Like, I had known I wanted it, but, like, all of a sudden, we were just like, yep, we're going to go today. And up until I got there, I was like, nope, I'm not getting it. I didn't think about it enough. And this was my first one, so I was really nervous about it. And then I was like, you know what? When else am I going to come here? Let's just do it. So I did it, and I was like, it was a small one on my foot, no big deal. And then I remember going home, and I hated it. I was like, I didn't think about this. This is on me for the rest of my life. I did not. I remember, like, laying in bed, and it was in the summertime. So, and I put my foot under my blanket, like, just to be extra. I didn't even want to see it.
You were extra?
Yeah. I didn't even want to.
I wouldn't have ever thought.
I didn't even want to see it, because I was like, what have I done? And a couple of days go by, and then I was like, wait, I actually like this. It's a lyric in my dad's handwriting. So I was like, I actually really like this. And I think if you do have regret, it's fine. It's like when I got the Fredo one. And the Fredo one, and tattoo is going to be a lot darker when you first get it done. Especially if it's writing, it's one thing. But if you get, like, an actual picture, it's going to be a lot darker. So my Fredo one was dark.
He knows you're talking about.
Yeah. He's like, stop it, ho. But my favorite one was really dark. Like, it from far away, it probably looked like a black blob on my arm. And I was a little nervous because I was like, this is dark. And I from Ink Masters, that's a common thing, is that they do like over shading or whatever. Like, I'm a professional, I know. But then I Googled some images of, like, as soon as they were done to, like, 3-4 weeks later, because they take about that much time to heal.
So it's probably, like, just healing now. Like, this
and it did lighten up, because then I took a picture of it from, like, right after to, if you look at it now, it's so much lighter. So, but it made me nervous at first, but that's perfectly fine. It's really normal. It's going to be on your body forever. It's perfectly normal to be nervous about something. I don't think that's a bad thing, to be a little nervous.
So now it's uncle story time. So my one uncle, Uncle Bert, he got a tattoo after his father died. And it's like a cross with, like, his name and, like, birth and death dates and everything. And so he's had it for years and years, but, like, his mother never knew because, like, she definitely wouldn't have approved. But, like, it was just on his arm, and he always kept it hidden until one night they were having a discussion at, like, a family event with my grandmother, my mom, my dad, my uncle. And then my mom goes, well, like, Bert has a tattoo, so, like, what do you think of that? So my grandmother never knew about this tattoo. So my mom was the one who ratted my uncle out, probably about, like, 20 years after he got the tattoo. And it's just, like, such
at that point, how mad can you really be if it's 20-year-old tattoo?
And you didn't even notice it ever.
Yeah, the shame of it is it probably doesn't look that good, because tattoos do deteriorate over time. So so it probably didn't even look that good when she finally did see it. What a shame. So, and
good job, gal.
The next uncle story time we have is we were saying that was right after I got a tattoo, and I'm always a little worried about how the family's going to react, because I know my mom's pretty okay with them for the most part, but I'm always afraid of, like, how Nana and the rest of them, like, I know your parents hate them. I always am so afraid, like, and I think your dad would prefer, like, if I just cut my arm off, and then because I think he hates that I have them. And you do get, like, self-conscious about them. Even though you're like, no, I totally wanted this. I thought about it for a long time. You do get self-conscious because there are people like that. And we were talking about it at the dinner table, and my Uncle Rue was saying, who wants a tattoo now? Yeah. He wants a sleeve of national parks going down his arm. But he was saying something about, like, there's some girl, and he saw, and she had a sleeve, and he's like, oh, it just makes you, I don't mind little tattoos all over, but it just makes you so ugly. I'm like, how? It's not for you. No. That tattoo, you don't know what that tattoo meant for her. I was like, that tattoo's not for you.
If someone's getting a tattoo, if they don't care about, oh, this is going to make me less attractive.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. They don't care about that. It's like, it's for them. Yeah. It's not for you. So stop being so judgy about stuff, you stupid hoe. But it's definitely, like, once you get one, it's an addiction. Rissa, if you ever get one, which I assume sometime in your life.
The scientific, like, thing behind it is, like, your adrenaline goes for, like, this, like, it's supposed to be, like, big, your body thinks it's, like, this big painful thing, but it's, it's painful, but it's, like, a slight pain. So, all of a sudden, all of, like, your endorphins and everything are, like, raging. Yeah. And you have all this adrenaline, so then, like, you get, like, a natural high from it.
Yeah, it really is, because, like, it hurts, but it's not enough pain for it to make me say, I never want another one again. Like, it really is. The addiction is real. And that's why I have, like, more in my head that I want. I mean, last week, Rissa and I met Jack Antonoff, and it was so nice and so cool. And I thought a couple weeks ago, he has a song, it's a really cool song, and it's one of, again, we said he's got happy songs that actually, when you listen to the lyrics, are actually sad. But this one, and I was like, wouldn't it be cool if I got it in his writing? I was like, we're going to meet on this is, like, my one chance. And I thought, like, even if I don't actually get it, because I do like to sit on them for a little while, but just get the writing. I'm never going to get to meet him again. Probably not. I mean, we're besties, but you never know. So I was like, let's just do it. So luckily, Rissa brought her notebook with her. We tore out a page real quick, and he was so nice, wrote it down for me. So now I have his handwriting of the title of the song, which I can't wait. And now, I mean, as soon as I got it, I was like, I'll go to a tattoo shop right now and get it done. Like, now I have it, and now I'm like, okay,
we actually told him, we're like, we're going to go right now. He's like, no, like, there's a show.
Yeah. But now that I have it, it's just kind of been like, okay, I'm definitely going to get this one. So I got a couple swimming around in my head of the next ones, but it's an addiction. And I have some pretty painful ones, and it's not enough for me to say,
stop.
Yeah. Like, no, actually, I'm going to get a couple more. And my friend keeps saying, she's like, oh, you're going to get a sleeve. She's like, you just keep getting more. She's like, that sleeve is coming together. And I'm like, well, I I have little ones scattered all over, so the sleeves, there's no sleeve yet. But I don't know. I think the pressure of the family would be too much. If I got a sleeve, your dad would definitely cut my arm off.
Oh.
Just be like, enough already. Your dad hates them. Absolutely hates them. So, Song of the Week time. Song of the Week time, Rissa. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's go.
I have, like, I think, like, one that I would, like, well, obviously one I really want already is Slow It Down by the Lumineers.
Yeah.
Lumineers is my favorite band, by the way. So there's, like, multiple songs that I would give, and then, like, I'd get,
just
like,
pick one.
Any lyric from basically Stubborn Love, because I freaking love that song.
Jam.
But I do plan on getting the Slow It Down lyric. So I think it's just, like, a cool, like, and, like, make sure, like, even if, like, you're feeling down, like, no, like, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, like, stand up tall and show you all.
Love it. So my, damn dog. So my song, for Tattoo Week is, In My Life. It's the one that I have on my foot. Because at first I was thinking, I was like, wait, I don't know any songs about tattoos. And then Rissa was like, no, well, what about like a song that you would get a lyric from of a tattoo? And I was like, oh yeah, okay. And I was like, wait, I already have one. And so I have In My Life, I Love You More on my foot, and which is a Beatles song. And I don't know, I can't think of any, well, other than the title of Jack's song, I can't think of any other ones that I would get. And I love music, but I can't think of any other lyrics.
See, like, I hear music lyrics all the time. I'm like, wow, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, just like a real inspirational one. So, I think we're wrapped up, right?
Yeah, I think we covered tattoos as much as possible with someone that has 3 and someone that has none. So I think
we're good. I think so. We're gonna wrap it on up. And we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Adios.